the other big story, the Me Too revolution that's taking place in our country. Now, here is all that has happened today. At least 3 women have tweeted today against author and columnist Suhail Seth, alleging misconduct and inappropriate behavior. In one of the accounts, a film director has written that Suhail Seth forcibly kissed, groped and molested her. Another woman journalist has written saying that she had been publicly harassed and humiliated by Seth and that nobody did anything to stop him. That's story number 1. Story number 2. Actress Sandhya Mridul has levelled allegations against Alok Nath. She is the second woman to speak up about the Sanskari actor, and she has revealed how Alok Nath entered her hotel room when he was drunk, refused to leave the room and even lunged at her. She's spoken about the kind of torture that she went through for days together, and if it wasn't for some of the crew members, including now late Rima Lagu, things would have become a lot more difficult. All of them came forward to help her. Obviously, nobody spoke up about it publicly to accuse Alok Nath. This incident allegedly took place in Kodaikanal when Alok Nath was playing Sandhya's father in a film.
We have already drafted a notice which has been issued to Alok Nath because Vintananda is also a very respectable member of IFTDA. Things, whatever is happening, is being very seriously taken by the Federation.
The Me Too revolution has hit the South film industry as well. Tamil lyricist, much known and acclaimed lyricist Vairamuthu's name has now emerged in the Me Too revolution. National award-winning singer Chinmay Sripada alleged that Vairamuthu asked her to visit him at his hotel room late at night while they were at an event in Switzerland in 2005. She says when she refused to cooperate with this man, she and her mother were sent back immediately to India. But instead of admitting that perhaps what happened was wrong, Vairamuthu has responded, calling all of these allegations defamatory, resorting to shaming Chinmay Sripada, and this has become the start of the revolution in the South Indian film industry.
We will take it up and put the fear of God into people by influence or money or power. They dare not, what shall I say, crush children.
And in what may be the first case of a woman alleging sexual harassment by another woman, at least the first high-profile case, comedian Kanis Surka has tweeted about an alleged case of harassment or assault rather by fellow comedian Aditi Mittal. Kanis's tweets allege that while she was doing a show in Andheri in Mumbai, Aditi Mittal walked up on the stage and forcibly kissed her without her permission. Kanis has added that before tweeting about this, she even personally reached out to Aditi Mittal twice, demanding an apology, but when she didn't get that, she had to resort to making this information public. Let's move on to another allegation that has been levelled against writer Chetan Bhagat. In a WhatsApp exchange between journalist Sanjana Chauhan of Mirror Now and Chetan Bhagat, the writer can be seen making inappropriate remarks. This WhatsApp exchange between the two, Chetan Bhagat asked questions to Sanjana that were laced with sexual innuendos, but instead of admitting these were wrong things to say to somebody who you've just met professionally, Chetan Bhagat resorted to shaming and naming Sanjana Chauhan and accusing her of seeking publicity.
By putting out excerpts of erotic fiction, it is not an invitation to ask me about my sex life. Also, if you want to ask somebody professional questions, tell them you're going to be asking them professional questions. Don't ask them what is the wildest thing they've done in bed. That is not the way to approach any woman or any professional or anybody over WhatsApp.
Seven women now have spoken out against Minister M.J. Akbar. The most detailed and horrifying account has been written by a journalist who worked as an intern under M.J. Akbar in the 90s. She has claimed she was repeatedly assaulted and molested by M.J. Akbar in his cabin for over 6 months. Eventually, she had to quit her job because there was no other way out, she claims. So far, neither the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj nor the MOS himself, who is right now travelling abroad, have responded to any of the allegations by these 7 ladies. In fact, this is a big story. And after these 7 women came out and spoke up about what MJ Akbar allegedly did when he was a top editor, a journalist, Saba Naqvi also took to writing a piece about her own experience. And she's joining us live now on this show. Saba, you've written a detailed piece which is more about how you escaped and how you survived a bacha of an editor. Could you take us through what you saw and experienced in those days?
As I've written, Tanvi, in Delhi, I was a trainee. I was like all of 20 years, and my first job, I was in a new city called Calcutta, where Mr. Akbar was this considered God's gift to journalism. And so I landed up there, and but at some point he set his sights on the new trainee, and so there were inappropriate things that happened which were building up to something. Before anything could happen, I left. I left because I realized I had a very good circle of friends who I made very quickly at a young age. Everybody knew what was happening. It seemed that this was what happened in the Telegraph. And that was the culture, that this editor was this genius who had created a new paper. But he picked on women, some more equal, some young like I was, some more equal in age to him. And that was it. So I was just the latest in the group. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I was from a big city. I had a lot of friends who were constantly doing things like, today the boss is here, so would you just, keep a low profile kind of thing was going on over there. I managed to evade the man, and I got away, when I came back to Delhi, jobless at that time, whatever. But in the light of the Me Too movement, when such horrifying testimonies are coming out about worse things that Mr. Akbar did, I felt it was my duty to speak out as a woman, as a mother, and my daughter is a little younger than what I was at the age when I went to live as a paying guest, so that I could learn at the feet of Mr. Akbar. And I had no doubt that I was dealing with a very advanced sexual predator at that time. And my suspicion as a young girl has only been confirmed by what the testimonies you're reading right now of women who underwent far worse than what I did.
Yeah. And, I appreciate you speaking out because it's going to help a lot more women come out and narrate their instances. And just to think about it, imagine this is how so many working women really spend their life, where they are actually running and hiding from sexual predators at work. And if there is no other way out, then they end up quitting and walking away because there is no other option. So I appreciate what you're doing today, Saba Naqvi. Should he go away as a minister? Should he quit? Should he step down? Is there any other option in front of the government?
Of course he should. I mean, if the government, the BBC has apparently reported on this. Now you have a Minister of State for External Affairs, and he's being charged in the democracy that is India of being a serial sexual offender. I've had somebody, some foreign channels have asked me. Now I don't have the time because I'm going away to Japan day after for a seminar over there on politics, thankfully. And I'm going away. I don't have that much time to respond to all the people who have spoken, who have reached out for a conversation on this. But I hope we have started a dialogue. I hope, my real hope, Tanvi, is that this will deter more male bosses in my profession, which is the media. And more than anything else, over the years, I've heard very troubling accounts from women in the regional press, in the vernacular press. Now, the situation is like this. In a patriarchal order, you don't speak out against a man. You're in a small town. You probably had to struggle to work there. There are not so many jobs going around. And, so once you start speaking out, you're considered a trouble. ये लड़की बहुत परेशान करने वाली है. Men will label a woman as hysterical or ambitious or telling lies. I mean, you go to a regional newsroom, it's entirely male dominated, and so are national newsrooms actually, all the bosses are males. But that's not the point here. But this has happened in the English media press so far. the impact. It's not hit the regions where, believe me, it'll be awful. In every profession, women will be subjected to bullying, to inappropriate sexual gestures by men. Because we live in a patriarchal world where men think they can get away with it. And this is how they just behave. Their fathers behave like this, so they think they can behave like this. So there are some very, very good men, and there are some men who are just inclined to be like this.
Well, just like I hope that this revolution actually goes from urban India and big metros to smaller cities, I also hope that this revolution goes from national media to even regional media. Thank you so much, Sabha Naqvi, for speaking up and for speaking to us.
Right. Right, absolutely.
All right, so that's where we're going to leave the things tonight. But the Me Too revolution is not going to stop anytime soon. All those men, sexual perverts, molesters, rapists, beware. You're next. Your name will be out soon. Thank you for joining us.